Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, 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 beautiful hearts. We are back for another episode in our Quantum Conversations Summit series, Creating Timelines. And today we are with a beautiful soul, Dr. Edwige. She is well on her ascension path. And today we're talking about creating in divine time, becoming your alchemist. This is all about timelines and how we are bringing in the divine God source self and breaking out of that 3D matrix. Edwige, thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, Loren. Always a joy to be here, always. And to share with your audience. So sending much love to each and every soul who will listen. Ah, wow.
Many, many beautiful light worker souls and advanced spirit beings that are in this earth plane are watching and listening. And I want to just share a little information about you, because the work that you do, the inner work that you do to bring in your light, to amplify your light quotient, we're going to see a few videos, short video clips of what's going on. It's so impressive because you are showing us, illustrating to us what's possible, what's real. And we were just chatting about where you go, and you're often in realms of higher consciousness. And that's where we're going. What keeps us from higher consciousness are these timelines that we've created and our distraction in the outer world and the collective consciousness. So as we talk about timelines, share with us your definition of timelines and how you see it. Thank you.
So, and that's a beautiful question. And we were talking about that a little earlier, as you said. And so there are truly actually 3 timelines. And we'll explain that and then explain how we create other timelines. So the 3 timelines as they stand right now, we have those going east. Those going east are those souls like ourselves who have done work, continue to do work to expand, to move towards enlightenment. Those that are letting go of their baggage, the baggage of lack, fear, guilt, shame, doubt, suffering, disease, and illness, pain, and suffering, judgment, jealousy, resentment, resistance, all of those energies, those emotions, those lower constructs of your 3D monkey mind, of your 3D emotional body, of your 3D physical body. So disease and illness and imbalances, all of those things, right, are the stuff that keeps you locked in. The narratives playing out of all of these false agendas keeps you locked into the lower realms. So that's the work, moving through the Maya, moving through the 3D, moving through you, letting go of your monkey mind, letting go of the resistance, letting go of your judgment, letting go of your jealousies, letting go of resentment, your fears, because the other half has been living off your fear. And so, okay, now here you are, this beautiful conscious being. I get it. I'm going to do the work. And as I'm doing that work, I'm lifting up, I'm expanding, I'm becoming more like light. I'm able to take a little bit more in, bit by bit by bit by bit. And so you're on your path. You have consciously made the choice. I'm ascending. I know who I am. I came here to volunteer, to be a way shower, to be a volunteer. I am a star seed. I hold the light. I have to remember who I am and turn that light on. And so now you begin to do that inner work. And as you do that inner work, you're moving east. That is to the higher realms. That's to the heavenly realms. That's to new earth. That's to whatever you want to call it, because it doesn't call itself anything, right? Whatever you want to describe it, that's wonderful. Then you have those who, they're good hearts. And I hear this all the time, but they're such kind people and they're so loving and they're so wonderful. That's all good. But ignorance isn't bliss. Ignorance is just ignorance. And so they've got to consciously wake up and say, I recognize the narratives playing out as politics. Dear ones, you're in the world and not to be of the world. You are choosing those who just aren't moving totally east just yet, but are going to make a sidetrack stop is to midwork. And what is that? That's for those who are still playing into the narratives. They're wonderful, beautiful souls, and their destiny is to go to the east. However, they're stuck in religiosity. They're stuck in, did I get a vaccine? Didn't I get a vaccine? Was that right? Was that wrong? Or am I a Democrat or am I a Republican? Is that right or is that wrong? Or do we love Trump? Do we not love him? Do we love Biden? Do we not love him? All of that, none of it matters. All of it, distractions, every bit of it is a distraction. And I'm going to tell you this, realize that everything is a divine orchestration. Everything, every step, everything you see, everything you came forward to witness is a part of the divine orchestration. So why would you think that any one part of it is wrong? Why would you think that any one part of it, especially if you're still dealing with polarities, the good, the right, the wrong, the bad, the light, the dark, because that's where most people are still going back and forth, swinging on a pendulum. Remember this year, a year of 8, harmony, balance, oneness. It's to stop that swinging and to get centered in your sacred heart. That's the goal. That's the work of this year. Folks, we're already into the 6th one, just about. What have you been doing? Where has your focus been? You've still been focusing on who's going to be in office. Who are you voting for? Who cares? It's all a distraction because it is all a part of the orchestration. The source of all that is has already decreed that we are to be free and sovereign and to return to our life. So why would you doubt that and give energy to all of these narratives playing out? You have to understand and overstand that as you are doing the work to clear you, to clear those timelines, and we're going to speak on those some more, so too is the earth. So if Mother Earth is doing the work, as above, so below, as within, so without. So if she's doing the work, don't all these things have to be revealed? Don't all these things have to come up? Don't you have to see it all? But do you have to tap into it and connect to it and feed it as it comes up? Wouldn't it be better to say, oh my goodness, yes, I realized that religion was off. I realized that, Anunnaki were the ones who actually wrote the Bible and blah, blah, blah. We won't go into details on all of that. That's just a whole another can of worms, right? However, the truth is that the light has always been in me, that the truth and the way has always been in me, that the answer has always been in me, that God, the divine, has always been in me. And so what is my job? To let go of the distractions and to focus and to make myself ready and to prepare and lift up and do the work to hold that sacred space of love within my heart, to go into my heart, see that everything is in alignment as it's supposed to be, and continue my journey. So those going mid-world haven't tapped into that enough yet. So they go to mid-world where they'll continue, right, without interference from the lower, without interference, so that they get it. Because all those souls who are supposed to will. So that's that group, right? We have us already on the path east, la la, having fun, things are unfolding, and we're seeing more and more the manifestation of that divinity, the dream state coming alive and awake within our realities, because we're able to hold that peace, that serenity, that prosperity consciousness. And so it's unfolding for us beautifully. Then you have those midworlders who they're still stuck in their stuff, but they're still all good and beautiful souls that will move. And then you have those going to the West. The West is simply, where you have those soulless beings that are walking around, and there's lots of them. You probably know one, or you see them, and you're like, wow, there's such a void there. Absolutely, because there's no soul. So those soulless beings can't go to where you're going because it requires a soul. So they move west to where the AI is and to where all the negative forces are, and they continue in that world of deluge. And that's the reality of that. Now, let's get back to those going east, and that includes the going to mid-ground. So timelines. You've had many, 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 many lifetimes. Not only have you had many lifetimes, but because you, especially those fully solid going east, your oversoul, who has had all these different aspects, right? Out in incarnations and more incarnations and more incarnations, you now have said, I got this. I'm here. I'm consciously aware that there is this thing called ascension or enlightenment, and I am moving easterly. I get it. Now, when you have done enough work where you have reached that point, then all of those other aspects from your oversoul and all of your other lifetimes as you, this aspect here, who's had many lifetimes, all of those chaotic nodes are your responsibility to heal and clear. So now you have all these chaotic nodes in all these lifetimes, not just yours, but your, you know, all those other aspects of your oversoul that you're now in charge of. So those chaotic nodes created these timelines that are based on all of those false narratives. You've done just enough work to turn on just enough light to be the piece, the aspect that can do the work for the whole. And so you will find that this clearing, this purification happens in cycles. You're like, but I've done enough work. I'm feeling wonderful. Then all of a sudden something happens and you're like, well, what was that? That was another piece of that oversoul, one of those aspects needing your assistance to clear that chaotic node in that timeline. And then that timeline collapses, and that timeline collapses, and that timeline collapses. And guess what, dear ones? You know, in another interview, I will show you pictures of aspects returning to me. And some are male, and you can see them, and some are goddesses, and you can see them. And so that's where we are. So as you become aware, and you've done enough in your anchoring to the east, now we have to clear those chaotic nodes, collapse timeline. Clear that chaotic node, collapse timeline. Clear that chaotic node, collapse timelines until you're in that one organic timeline moving east. Do you see? And so it's like you're this big, big puzzle. Say this puzzle has 1,000 pieces, and each piece might represent 10 lifetimes, 15 lifetimes. Wow, you've got to reconcile those lifetimes, and then that piece locks into place. Then, okay, let's work on that next piece, and that might be lessons in love. So you may have had 10 lifetimes in lessons in love, and then that other part of you, right, from the oversoul may have had 10 or 12 lifetimes in the lessons of love. Now you're collapsing and doing all of that. And it's interesting because when this came in a couple of months ago, it was funny because I saw like flashes of lifetimes, like, you know, in the group that I was working with, I saw their flashes. And I'm like, oh my, so you're going to get a glimpse of a lifetime. You're going to wonder why this glimpse is there. That glimpse is there just to say, okay, collapse it. Take on the lessons, the mastery, because that's what you're here, becoming the master, right? An ascended master. So you take the trauma from that experience that created that chaotic node, and you transmute that energy. And then you take the mastery of that and bring that into you. Now, by bringing that mastery into you, what is it doing to that piece of the puzzle? Do you see? It's bringing the essence, the energy, the fullness of that piece in, so that piece can lock into place. Make sense?
Absolutely, it really does. And so I was going to ask, how do we know what those trauma nodes are?
I'll show up.
When you see them, so you saw them flashing. So if we get an inkling, or if there's a trigger within us, that's something. That's what it is. We're navigating the triggers. So
Yes,
again, we are welcoming the triggers. We're looking at the triggers as a beautiful opportunity to do that work. How do we clear it?
100%, 100%. And so
Okay.
when it comes up, observe it as the detached observer. Now, you know, I've been teaching and sharing how to get into your heart space. So you should by now, those have been with us, how many years, Lauren, right? Should know how to get into your heart by now. So go into your heart space where you can only create for your best and highest good. And ask from that sacred space of your heart, oh, what was it that I was supposed to get from that? Why did that show up? Where was that resistance? Okay, I got it. I acknowledge it. I receive you. I love you. Thank you. Right? If you have to, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And it's that simple as just acknowledge it. What was the lesson, the mastery of it? You can acknowledge the trauma of it. Yes, I learned it. Yes, it was a hard knock. I get it. But boy, it has made me a beautiful master. Thank you. I uncreate and let you go now. Thank you. I love you for this experience of dissension. And now I rise. Do you see? It is really not that complicated. Sort of
No,
never is that complicated. We complicate it. And hopefully, see, the thing is, it's about trusting, because we spoke about that earlier. So it's about you trusting yourself, trusting the process, trusting what you are receiving, what you're getting, and then acting in divine right action in accordance to what it is you are receiving and getting. You have to act upon it. You can no longer hide from yourself. So you can't pretend you didn't get that flash. You can't pretend you didn't get that moment of resistance. You can't pretend, oh, I've done enough work. What is that? That's not mine. That has to be somebody else's. No, that's a part of that part of you that you don't recognize because it wasn't you, the aspect that had that incarnation, but it's you, a piece of the whole that did. So yes, deal with
deal with it. Okay. You know, it seems like every moment, not every moment, but every day, there are feelings that come up that allow us this opportunity. I mean, it seems like it's like floodgate is open on this. Is there
again.
something going on? Is there more light? You know, we've had these incredible solar flares that brought that beautiful aurora borealis, the pinks and the skies around the planet. How beautiful was that? And that just seems like feelings, energies are coming up within us that present themselves for this moment to take care of it.
Well, think about it. So, as I said earlier, if the earth is doing her process of purification and bringing things up, so too are you. And so, when we know that every bit of this is a part of a divine orchestration, that
Oh,
means that the divine has provided the resources that you need to assist you on your path. So that's coming in from the great central sun. We have photonic energies, plasmic energies, right? As some are becoming stargates. So some will feel themselves really tired. It's because you have to honor the body. If you really grasp this, and I think you will when we show some of those videos,
yes.
that your physical vessel, which is why it's the very first initiation of ascension, you must master the physical vessel because this physical vessel has to go from carbon to crystalline. And this physical vessel cannot go from carbon to crystalline if you are not a good steward of the physical vessel. So that means paying attention to, drinking alkaline water, eating your Celtic salt so that you're getting all your minerals, that you're getting those things that support the physical vessel so that it has what it requires to move through this process because it can be overwhelming, right? And some are feeling the energies coming from the sun and some are not. But those who are gifted and anointed enough to feel it, embrace it, because it is a beautiful gift, not to be taken for granted, not to say, oh my goodness, here we go again. What the heck is going on? Why me? It's because it's what you asked for. You just didn't realize how it was going to show up for you. So embrace change. And so mastery of the physical. You might hear a voice saying, don't eat any more meat. You might hear a voice say, eat only meat. You might hear a voice that says, only eat fruits and veggies. You might hear a voice that says, drink lots of water. You might hear a voice that says, you need more aloe vera in you. Whatever your guidance is coming in for you, for your physical vessel to transform. This vessel is carbon based and needs to go to crystalline base. And it cannot do that because you see that carbon, if you will, is that 1% matter that makes you physical. But that 1% matter that makes you physical, and 99% of you is energy. So why don't you see yourself as energy? Why don't you see yourself moving through time and space? Why don't you see yourself breaking apart like you will in the videos? Right? Because you're only 1% matter. The rest of you is energy. And so that 1% matter, how does it stay solid? How does it appear to be real? It's because it's in the lower densities of that 1%. So imagine there are densities in between dimensions. Wow, did we hear that? Densities in between dimensions. And so if you are still hovering in the lower densities of 3D, well, then your physical body is stuck and heavy and sick and diseased and out of balance. And you're in fear and guilt and shame and pain and suffering and lack and all of those things that are the lower densities, those dominated negative energies. That's what keeps you anchored in the 3D matrix. Why? Because that's what those forces feed. They feed off your fear, your anger, your hate. So as long as you believe all the narratives going around and you're angry at what's going on in the world and you have this angry reaction to it, what did you just do? You fed it. You fed it. And so that keeps you in these lower density energies. The more that you do the work, and that's why I'm always going to talk about the work, and there just simply is not a fast tracking the work. The more that you engage with the energies coming in through the sun, the more that you eat lighter, brighter foods that support higher frequencies, the more that you connect into nature, the more that you sit and do prayers or you meditate or you listen to music that lifts your spirit, the more that you acknowledge that, hey, I'm in the world, but I'm not of it. And I see that, but I don't attach to it anymore, right? The more that physical body can begin to make its adjustments, the more that you can bypass the astral plane when you go to sleep at night, where you're still having nightmares and these awful dreams and things that are going on. You have to raise your vibration. So you have to do what you have to do for you to raise your vibration. People have talked about this many times, whatever it is for you. I know in my book, I think I listed 21 things on what you can do to increase and raise your vibration. That's not just one time, dear ones. This must be your focus. So as you're doing that, you're able to then work on the physical vessel, get that physical vessel stronger, starting to feel your high heart. Whoa, starting to have that high heart turn on, your chakras spinning and staying balanced. And then, in meditation, you might have the healing flame turn on in your hands like it did for me. You'll feel other chakras spinning and turning on. You'll begin to hear this still inner voice. You'll begin to see with clarity more. And now you start to work on that mental body and you let go. You have to transmute all of those lower density thoughts that keep coming in, that monkey mind, because you have a higher God mind that's ready to take over. Well, you have to get out of the way. You have to transmute the old and to allow for the real, right? The real you, your real self is this beautiful spiritual being that's ready to be the director of you. But you have to get out to allow the divinity of you to be the director of the physical vessel. So that's in fact what's happening. You are moving out of the way. You are transmuting all of the lower energies of you, and you are inviting your essence, that purity of your heart into you to be the divine director of your material experience. Now, when you can do that more and more and more, what begins to happen? That material world begins to expand. That material world breaks free from the 3D matrix. That material world moves into higher densities. Once you move into higher densities, now you're operating from the fourth dimension. And those operating from the fourth dimension are beginning to see their dreams play out in real time. They're beginning to see those things that they've dreamt of, those things that they'd like to create, those things that they desire to manifest that will improve their health, their well-being, and that of humanity. All those things, those dreams, those desires are beginning to manifest. That's because you've moved into the realms of 4D, where you were just going there at night. Now you're operating from this higher space because you've done enough work to let go of the lower densities and to expand into more peace, into more serenity. This is a beautiful year of 8. Let go, let go, let go. Stop looping around, move into your heart, come into balance and harmony. And as you do that, now you're anchored. Now that movement can be clear. Now that physical body can begin to take on more light. Now you can begin to break free. Now you begin to collapse all those false timelines and move into the one here now timeline that is organic, that is divine, that is your destiny.
Thank you for this. It's very inspiring. And the task, we are taking that on. Okay, we have our directions and our instructions. Let's see some of these videos. There's a beautiful video of you, and it's very interesting to say the least. Let's look at this.
E chichido beninia shubainia nunia stua, e che penia nonia stua, e che pajoria makusayatini amora heshini nonia tichini kumama, e pepenia nonia tichini kuya shemia mama, e che ponoria tichini kusasimia maroke abia no dachi shino dosa papia, e che annoni e pepenia noni ashoa, ashoa, e mia noia comia sa. Mega nuni shichi to patini amoru wasebi mama yatomi. Yatomi. Yatomi ami amaruko yachini tori atichini kusei sabi.
Now look, I'm actually not standing in the light, and yet there is a pillar of light through me. I
Yeah.
the window, but I wasn't at the window when it began. And so it is you becoming the light. That's what it looks like, dear ones, a pillar of light right through me, right all the way down through my feet. When my hands move back and forth, the light is me. I am the light. I am the love. I am. That's what transfiguration looks like. That's what it looks like to break free and to be operating from higher, not only higher densities, but higher dimensional energies. So that's what I feel.
Okay. It's really exquisite. It's amazing. And it's taken by a phone. And the phone has that ability to pick up these multi-dimensional aspects. Okay.
There's no
gonna-
edit, nothing. That's just the raw footage off the telephone.
Raw footage. Okay, here's another.
And there's so much fear. There's fear of endings. There's fear of lack. There's fear of limitation. There's fear of death. There's fear of grief. There's fear of pain. There's fear of disorder. Oh my God, all to be transmuted and transformed back to love.
I could see you going out there. Is that this one We'll turn the sound off and we'll watch this again. Your forehead, there's colors that come out
Colors coming out. If you look at my hands every time and look at my mouth, there's energy
in the
coming.
mouth.
And if you look at my hand, every time I send it out, those codes are going out. And so what's happening as I am tapped in, right? Source, I'm like a vessel for source, and those energies, those instructions, you see my hand, you see how it's breaking the matrix when I hit my hand and move my hand. It's sending out those codes to the world, to this, and all those beings. Now, this video at one time, we actually slowed down and you can see me breaking apart and leaving, and you can see me come back piece by piece. And there's actually beings. You see all those
Yes. The flickers. What's that?
or beings coming in and the matrix. Again, if we understand and understand that when you get to this level, the 3D matrix cannot exist. It does not exist. It's an illusion. And so I'm able to break it. It breaks apart and travel beyond the 3D world and then come back to the 3D world. And so that's what I'm showing, that it is an illusion and it cannot exist where I go. And so everything in the room, everything around me has to respond to the level of consciousness that I am holding. And so that's what you're seeing. And you see the energies coming off of me because I have all the rays of God. Remember, we've spoken before about my 2014 experience to Mount Shasta when the rays of God descended into me. So what am I sending out? I'm sending out healing. I'm sending out codes. Whoa. And you're witnessing it as it moves through time and space. It moves through time and space. This 3D world is an illusion, so watch it break apart. It's not.
I just want to make a mention about the video. So if people are watching this on Zoom, they may think, oh, it's just a Zoom connection or an internet connection. But we're sitting here, I'm playing the file right here on my computer, and we're seeing that glitch. We don't see that with regular iPhone videos. It's very clear. In fact, iPhone is a very good camera. And so it's picking up glitches of reality breaking through the matrix.
And it's so interesting. Again, I wish you could slow it down. You would see my head break apart. You would see me come apart.
Yeah, right there. Okay. Yeah, I can't slow this down. I could slow it down in a.
Yeah, it's remarkable. It's remarkable. But that's the reality of it. There's nothing wrong with the camera. Did you see right there the splitting, how I came back?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just so remarkable. But this is who I am. And this is why I'm here to share that this world is an illusion. Stop tapping into this. Begin to move beyond it because it is within our nature to be able to move beyond it. Did you see that split right there? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when I leave and come back. And
wow.
People will ask, what am I seeing? It's very interesting. Sometimes I see beings coming right at me. Sometimes I'm standing in like that pillar of light that you saw in the other video, and I can actually see me standing like at a precipice where this light is just in me and coming out of me. I can see the internal light and I can see me projecting the light. There's just so much going on in any given moment during these.
Incredible.
Every time my hand flashes, you see it breaks the matrix.
It is really remarkable. And so let's take a look at another video. Let's bring this back up.
Oh, indeed. Oh, yeah. That's pretty remarkable.
Okay. I'm going to turn the audio. Start this again. Yeah, this one, amazing. And then we're going to see the camera pan around the room.
Niam no hate chenoroa shakanoa pisa isa da canoa te chenoroa. Mama me anu hata canoa tika yano ashawa mi mano shikanoa te chinia noa yashawa mi no hatoche nikoto chenoroa ni ashawa mi no roate chenoroa te chikoto tani ro hupusama iki chikanoa te sekanoa sama pipe atono shikayano kusama e chikoto chinia to sasama kopope chikanoa te che
The lights.
The flickering image again. The flickering pixels. Very interesting. What's your take on that? Again, breaking through the matrix.
Absolutely. And Lauren, there are times when I open my eyes and that's what I'm seeing in front of me. I can actually be in that energy and see everything breaking apart in front of me. That's quite something when you're challenged with, okay, but I have to function here. And all you're seeing are glitches. I mean, I can be sitting at breakfast at the counter and the whole kitchen is glitching. So yeah, I see this with my eyes.
Well, you know, you are not the only one. I know that others have been seeing that, something like this in the corner of the eye. Not all the time. I've had it a couple of times, and it actually at first was quite frightening. It's like, what's going on? But this helps to explain those experiences.
Absolutely. And again, you see that the angle of how the light is coming in has nothing to do with the window. And it has everything to do with the energies that are coming in from above.
Yep, look at that. The first time I looked at this video offline, I did not see those glitches. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
And sometimes in the videos, you'll see orbs, you'll see beings standing there. There's quite a few where a being will come in and stand next to me. We've captured many of those. There's just so many that, you know, like I said, I probably have 15,000 pictures and videos. It's just too many to go through, which will be a project in and of itself. But yeah, that's what it's like. And so this is really what it looks like to break free from the matrix. And yes, it is possible. It's about doing that inner work. It's about letting go. It's about detaching, becoming the observer, and making the conscious choice that you are an ascending being and that you are ascending, that you are becoming the light, because the light is ready and willing and able, look at it, to flow through you, as you. Isn't it just beautiful?
It's extraordinary. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
My hand, it just, and they'll be in colors at times. It's fascinating. I mean, I have them where there's purple energy coming off, or there's blue energy coming off. It's one of the rays coming through. It just depends on what's going on in that transmission and what comes forward. Whatever comes forward, everything around it supports it. It's beautiful.
And you were speaking light language there, and that's part of the energy that is involved. So is that par for the course for us to be in a vibration like that? So that's really letting go and connecting and letting the divine move through us.
You know, I started light language 2014, 2015, and it truly just takes over. I'll be in the middle of the night, all of a sudden out spontaneously in light language. Or as I'm coming through in the morning, I'm in light language speaking and just in prayer in light language. I'll jump into the shower and songs come forward and tones come forward. And so I'm in light language almost as much as I'm in English, honestly, because it happens all day. I can speak it now. There isn't any separation from it. So it's just because that part of me is in, and that part is that higher dimensional part of me. So that part is like language, and we share the vessel, right? My God self and me. Uy, teki ni kopoko, ashe she ni kanuhatache, kanuhatechi sayamu, ashete na kutania. We are one, dear ones. There is no separation. It's
It is, again, very inspiring and it helps us on our journey. And I know that many are going to be taking out their phones and taking more videos, taking videos of the sun, taking videos of nature, being aware. And sometimes it's like we can see it with our eyes, other times we can only see it with a phone. I find that fascinating as well.
because you see, I'll tell you why. Because you're looking with your 3D eyes, and your 3D eyes haven't advanced enough to see what is beyond the veil. Your phone has no emotion. Your phone has no sensor. Your phone isn't distracted by its limitation of thought. So your phone just does what it does and captures truth.
I love it.
You have eyes to see, right? You must have eyes to see. Then you shall.
I know that you've got a meditation or an activation to help us anchor in this divine time. Is there anything that you'd like to add about more of becoming our own alchemist and what the work is to do here? I think we've discussed it, but is there anything else you'd like to add?
You know, becoming your own alchemist, everything is about a choice. As soon as you say, yes, I can, then yes, you can. So you have the innate abilities, and it's not about going out and studying this modality and doing that. It really is an inside job. And the more that you trust yourself and what's coming forward through you as you, the more that you will become the alchemist. You know, it's so funny. I remember being visited by Marilyn, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I mean, I've been in these videos, you see all sorts of beings, and he was one of them. And I had coins, I had gold coins playing on my fingers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was remarkable. One day I'll attempt to find that video. I don't know where it is, but it's just fascinating. And so the skill is within you to use the energy. It's about energy and it's about your divine will. And so, and your focus. So if you desire to create something, sit with it for some time, be it 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. Sit with that one thought and allow that one thought to plant within you and then to send it out. And as you do that more and more, the alchemist within you will manifest. It's about you being able to hold that focus. It's about you being able to stay. It's so difficult because we have the monkey mind, right? And so we're here, we're there, we're scattered, we're too busy, we're too this. Okay, but that's being in the world and being of the world. I'm suggesting, and again, you've heard it before, that you must be in the world but not of it. So what does it look like to be in the world and not of it? It means for you to start to become aware of you as this spiritual being who is love, who is light, who can create because you are a creator, but you're not giving it enough effort. You're not giving it enough energy. You're not giving it enough positivity. You're not feeding it. You'd rather feed the old narratives as opposed to feeding yourself in that which you desire and seeing yourself divine, seeing yourself whole, seeing yourself. If you would, I know what we're going to do in the process. Got it? It just came in. Seeing yourself as you truly are. And from that perspective, being the great manifester and creator that is already in you. Stop giving your power away. Collapse those timelines and bring your power back. Call your power back. In fact, demand your power back. Cancel, clear, revoke, rescind all of these false contracts that have taken your power, that have taken your abilities, that have taken your sight, that have taken your knowing, and bring them back to your best. So I guess that's what I would have to say.
Powerful.
It's fascinating. And again, I think you can witness that part of me speaking and this part of me speaking. Do you see how we have this interplay? That
Yeah.
part is serious and brings out the message. Please cut right to the point. No holds barred. And then there's Edwige. Oh, it's all good. And yeah, I had this wonderful experience. And then that part sticks right in. Oh no, this is it. This is how you do it. This is where we are. This is what matters. And that's how you live holistically with your God self, and how where there is no separation, and that part of you truly is able to just speak because it's the divine will, and you have surrendered you to the divinity of you. And when you can surrender you to your divinity, you are magic, and you have your super.
We want our superpowers. Everyone here is raising their hand saying, yes, yes. Okay, beautiful then. Let's clear the way for that process, that activation, actually. Thank you.
So let's just get comfortable, shall we? And close our eyes. I'm going to close my eyes as well. And take a deep breath into your eyes. And just let go. Ooh, feel your shoulders lift up already. My goodness. Feel yourself just expand with every breath you take. Allow yourselves to let go. Take another breath in. And I send you the breath of light. Breathe it in. Using your inner vision, your imagination, knowing that you are safe and protected, and that you are sealed in a golden white perfected bubble of love and protection. And only that which comes from the source of the Most High has permission to come anywhere near you, dear ones. And so now, in that space of knowing, allow yourselves, using your inner vision, your imagination, to move to that sacred space behind your heart. And see your heart pumping. Feel your heart beat. And as you do, now see this little opening at the bottom of your heart appear. And that opening is a vortex, so just allow it to pull you in. And down now, becoming one with your heartbeat. Kasano tishirai kasabeni pukia tukushikasani. Iki yashoro kutiki chikasaya no pepo echikasaya no kushikata. Iki chikusabeni pukitani shikita tukichikasaya no kushikate chikasabeni pukitachi pepo pachacha. Ani katoki chikasabeni ato chikasabeni pukitachi kukoki chikatuketani arihotote. Iki ato tanyushete kasabeni pukitachi kuku a puashete kanuashete kataki ayuno hotote. Beautiful. You feel yourself like landing in your heart space. Now, way up at the top of your heart is this tiny sacred chamber. Just allow yourselves to float up. Move it to the left, your left, ever so slightly, and in to that sacred space. Be that something new. To lift you, dear ones, to lift you beyond the perception of your 3D self rise and rise and rise, dear ones, expanding truly in that and from that sacred space of your heart, where you are able to see yourself hovering in this beautiful sacred space of oneness, and from this higher perspective, dear ones, glance down at your physical. What does your physical vessel at this time, dear ones, to allow you to expand, to allow you to let go of your lower world? Ayamima kotonishta rotosobeni kotonishta. Mano dechi sava chukote daishta. Asa chenano ishedaro kupoto ishenano ishea. Expand some more, dear ones. And as you do, observe your higher self. Observe you, your incorruptible life. Observe you on your path east. See the beauty. See the illumination of you. See you as the divine being that you are. Happy and joy-filled. You see yourself in peace and serenity. All that you desire to accomplish is awaiting you. See the divinity of you. Explore your true essence. Padici prototana pedi pasebeni. Minyato jashirai kusama yato kichisayam neketera enobuto yi ayato. And as you move in these higher realms, dear ones, look at the flowers, look at all the life expressing life and light. You might see yourself levitating across the flowers, and the flowers are dancing below your feet, dear ones. See the fruit hanging on the trees, singing joyful praise to the source of all that is. See your vessel in light, dear ones. See you expanding, dear ones. Ayamin prokotarira, no kushekera kupisabarina, kusabeni prokotashetokoya, ekasabeni prokosayashetena, kupiyashetari, akupasaya, tokichikatomia, ikino hutoche sabi, nikatakatari, ayono kushikatana, yanyamo po apo, shikatai, kushikate, nikashikatai, no kushikate, nikashikatai, no kusabeni, ajajade, tokichikasa. And see these beautiful beings of light. See your guides, your angels. Let's bring them in from the love rays. Indeed, as we close out this beautiful month of May, and even though this will be airing at another time, in another space, feel the energies of love from the mothers and the mothers' mothers and beyond. All of this divine feminine energies that are here rising up. Allow them to imbue into you all of the divinity and all of the sacredness of the divine feminine, dear ones. Feeling yourselves moving into wholeness. Feel yourselves moving into balance. Feel yourselves moving into oneness. Katichi papu atani kapu nikini kopupu ashikatana. Masabeni purputati perkutani shetekute chikusabeni purkatani kushiteno purpatera. Dici kusabeni perkatani kushikateni kasabeni perkutani yashetokatarida. Kachikatori apupuni ashikatukasabagato kichikasabarakutakachikazai. Ikizabartatita chikazayino koshikazayino kupaseni katapikuchikazabeni kasa ichikazabati chikazabakachikatayino koto aí eu não tô aí no kotaki chikazaia ikichikazabeni protache so bahia Maria chikazabekatia cherai no kopati kotoki chikazaya no kopase Arobeni katika chikazobeni kazopeki chikazabeni paso ai acho que sokati chikazageni kopoche no ha, no ha, no ha, ni pichi ko pichi, so beni kaso Katia, ke to beni kano, ayano hate hano, ayano hate hano, ayanate 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 hano, and when you feel your lungs that you have expanded and that you have received all of the dispensations that you require. Now look down upon your avatar here on this planet and envision, if you will, a beautiful bed of grass, green, brilliant grass under the feet of your avatar. You are now going to send all of those energies that you are experiencing in the higher realms down, down, down. See that grass illuminate, receiving those higher energies. And now see your avatar step onto that beautiful patch of green grass, that green patch of healing. Allow those energies of healing to come up from that grass and to move up into your feet. Feel those energies as they move up into your legs, behind your ankles, up into your torso. Feel it moving down into your arms, into your hands. Feel your hearts being healed. Feel your heart wall being removed and shattered. Feel the energies of healing moving up into your throat, into your word, into your power. Feel those energies moving up into your third eye, into your vision. Feel those energies moving to your ears, into your ability to hear the still small voice. Feel those energies move to your crown, where it is crowned. And feel that energy as it now moves out of your crown and circles back down around your body in a beautiful toroidal field. Here we go, and back up through your feet from that beautiful patch of green grass. There are ones that cycle back up through your body, cycle back up through your crown, back down in that toroidal field around you, back down your body, back up through your feet. And now it comes to your heart. And dear ones, before you leave those higher realms, Looking down upon yourself, once again, we ask, what is it that your avatar, your vessel requires? You are the essence of you. Send to your avatar that aspect that is here, that which it requires. Kasama maya koya se hano, ay hano ya koa se mama ya to ate se ano ya se ama mama kato kijikasai akate kijikasai na kubelia ya te ate hano. Ya te ako. Chika chika ti ashe ni kami mama ya kosabeni prachukote ayanu ashe mama asabeni prakote chi sayanu shute eki ka chikuku. Once again, you once find yourself within your vessel, fully infinite, and yet feel that beautiful patch of grass below your feet, continuing to energize your vessel. Tia, 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 kukitichi sabache, tia, kukutichi sabeni kakatana. Ki, ano hashegai, ano hashegai, oh, mama, matechi sobeni katu. And feel your hearts expand. Yeah. And your hands when you burn. Feel the fullness of the sun. Oh, I appreciate. You got to experience another piece of it. Indeed. All the many voices of the mother that she holds the templates for space and beautiful thing to bring those codes as the person's perspective. Jesus. How are you doing, Lauren?
There's a deep stillness, and I'm completely out of my mind right now. My heart is wide open. And this is what we stabilize. This is what we carry. This is what we hold. And don't let anything distract us from it. That was so beautiful. I can feel I'm all lit up. I feel so expanded. Thank you.
How the light piercing through.
Bright lights. I wonder how everyone in our audience is doing.
I know, how beautiful. Know how much you are loved. Know that you have been lifted up to a whole new perspective of seeing the sin.
Yes.
That you can look down upon your vessel and give nourishment to your vessel, so that your vessel is supported and is loved and is nurtured, so that your vessel can do the work that it needs to do to support you, your divine self. Do you see the beautiful symbiotic relationship?
And seeing through those eyes up there, looking down, seeing through those eyes always is really divine. Wow. There's no room for judgment. There's no room for self-judgment. Wow, it just makes me reflect in this moment why we could be so harsh on ourselves. It really makes me want to cry in the moment out of pure love that this is who we are, but yet so many of us criticize ourselves so harshly. But from this space, from this perspective, there's such a deep love that we would never allow that to happen in this space, from this perspective, from this expansion.
That is what is lacking. The love. The love that is beyond emotional love. The love that is the power of creation. Remember, light plus love equals life. So you are light. You are love. And from the higher perspective, looking at self, you see what's playing out. And yes, there are tears because you are so loved, dear ones. You cannot imagine. You know, when I go into transmissions, oh my goodness, so many times I cry because the vessel is overwhelmed with the amount of love that's coming in. It's so palatable. It's so expansive. I mean, it will take me hours just to anchor back in because of the expansion. And it feels so good that I actually don't care to anchor back in, which is the funny thing. It's like, I don't really want to be there. I'd rather be expanded. Show me how I can live in an expanded state and function in the physical vessel. That's the beautiful task at hand. Being in that expanded state and yet being able to function. And as we're able to function, we will continue to expand as we travel east. Do you see? Do you see? It's so divine. It is such a masterful plan. And yet we find ourselves doubting, thinking that somewhere something is off and that there has to be a corrective step. What are you talking about? There's no such thing. Take one step, take the next step, and trust that every step you are taking is leading you on your divine illuminated golden path that is fulfilling your destiny. With every breath you take in another breath and be the light that you are here to be. Hear the calling. It is coming in so clear, so full right now. This calling to every soul who hears this. It doesn't matter that it's already been recorded. It is so live with this vibration, with this frequency, with this energies as it reaches you. Allow it to move into your heart, allow it to expand you, allow it to bring you that which you require in this moment of your expansion to enlightenment. As you move on your divine path, know that you are loved, know that you are supported, know that there is nothing left in the way, that the dark has been removed, and you no longer have to be worried about not being seen because they're going to get you. Dear ones, you are safe to expand. You are safe to rise up. You are safe to become the light. Your love, your guidance, and your support is here.
Wow. Amen. Hallelujah. Aho.
Ashe and Aho. And let me share this with you because it's just what I do. Do not use the word that we just used in closing out your prayer, because that is calling on an Egyptian god on you. We do not say that word. And it's all about you understanding and understanding the power of the words, understanding and understanding that the English language is the language with the most spells. And so you must become mindful of what exactly it is you are saying and creating through your word. In your word, are you giving power away, or are you bringing your power back and you standing as the light? And so, Aho, Ashe, and so it is, and so it is, and so shall it be, all perfect and divine. Right?
Okay. Thank you. Wow. Important piece there.
Religion comes in and taking your power. Remember, it only was created to take your power. They think they have a right to your soul. And so they've given you these prayers, they've given you these things that you unwillingly, unknowingly just release and give your power away. So all the work that you just did is mitigated because you just said that word that
Wow.
so clear, cancel, clear, and I call back all of my power that I received in this human now moment, and so it is, and so it is, and so shall it
So it is.
be.
Mm.
It is time to become ever mindful of the grace and of the help that is here for you. Call to your God self, call to your own development. So it is, and so shall it be.
So it is, and so shall it be. What a powerful experience, expansive experience, and a welcome home. This is who we are. And what an incredible opportunity that you gave us today to witness that and to feel it and to sense it and to anchor it. Because we are shifted now. We are definitely shifted, and you've elevated us up, and there's no going back. I think we're even further on that path east.
Oh,
And
indeed, because you are now able to go to that place of that expanded state and seeing yourself from that expanded state and looking down at your vessel. And as you, as that spirit, as that soul, as that essence, as that aspect of you looking down from the higher perspectives to the vessel, you have such compassion now for your vessel. You have such compassion for the physical body. It's like, oh, I get it. I've been playing small in my physical body. It's no wonder you can't help but be in this imbalance. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Let's do better now. Do you see?
yes, I love that. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We are fully activated. Everyone who's watching, thank you for joining us in this experience to your life, your perspective. Incredible work. We thank you. And Edwige, we thank you so much for showing us the way. You are an incredible teacher. And so I want to give people a way that they can work with you. Here's an opportunity. It's a special offer that we love to promote on programs like this because people are going to want to know more, how they can work with you more, dive deeper in this. And on this webpage where you're watching this event, or in the description box on YouTube, you'll find a link that you can look at this beautiful package. It's a big package. It's a full program, The Awakened Heart. It is a beautiful Ascension Transformation online healing retreat. There's 3 sessions in that. Plus, there's the program, You're Not Crazy, You're Awakening. That's an ebook. And there's a bunch of MP3s that go here in this offer that it's the path of the initiate, right? This is a beautiful starting point for people to continue with this work and expand further.
Well,
And
and
say something, yes.
it's about the initiate, but it's not, it's a starting point. It's also much more advanced because wherever you are, as you work through the material, it will expand a higher level of awareness. Because remember, as we're letting go of those lower 3D densities, as we're working on the physical, mental, and emotional bodies, there's 3D letting go, and then there's the higher dimensional letting go. So there's so many levels of awareness that peel away the layers as you move through the work. So that work truly is just so pivotal because you must master the physical. You must master the mental body. You must master the emotional body. And then you must rectify and clear and move to a higher level of awareness of your physical body, a higher level of awareness of your mental body, and a higher level of awareness of your emotional body. So these are stages that you move through. So continue to do the work. For those who have not gotten this package, I would say get this package because it takes you step by step by step by step into moving east, into your ascension, into recognizing what it looks like, into unlocking those blocks that need to be unlocked within you, and how to do it with grace and as much ease as possible. As possible.
Yes, it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. And people can scroll and check out. There's a couple of different options, and then there's an option for everything. And there's a one that's the morphogenic metamorphosis. That's a powerful one as well. The whole thing is good. Everything is great. And so again, it's the advanced for light workers, but yet it's where it meets people wherever they're at. And so for those who really want to unblock even further, it's a great program, all of it. Thank you for this. Yeah. Mm.
It's an honor to be of service, you know, it's an honor to be here. And it's so interesting. I know for me, it's magical. There are times when I'm like, you know, in that world, and that part is so delighted to be here. And I'm like, really? In the physical vessel? Really? We like it here? And there's so that part is so delighted to be of service and to have an experience in a physical form. It's like, it's just so, you know, like a baby who's trying things for the first time. And it's like, oh, the awe of it and the awe of it and the awe of it. Truly see yourselves like that, and just being in the awe of life, because that's why you came forward for this experience in this physical world. And you're like, oh my gosh, it seems so solid. Oh my gosh, what an idea. I never imagined that something could be so dense. Right? And so we really have to begin to see from a higher perspective the thrill it was to say, yes, I'm going to come here and I'm going to experience this lower world because I think it's really cool for me to be able to experience this lower world. And you're thinking, who wants to be here?
Right.
You did. So what and why? And so it's interesting when you can change your perspective. It's interesting when you can see from the higher aspect of yourself that it was a joy and a challenge, and thought it would be fun and exciting to drop down, only to discover that you were never separated and that you can rise back up whenever you decide that it's time for you to rise back up. What a thought. What a choice.
Yes. Now, from that perspective, we have a smile on our faces. So beautiful. Let's not forget that, everyone. That perspective is so wonderful that's it. Don't forget that. Remembering that will lead you on the path the entire way, and that connection to divine source. I see that world where more people are doing this. As we close, Edwige, I want to ask you the world that you see then, your description, a brief description for that. How do you see it?
Oh my goodness. So the world that I see, if you look at the picture, my background, right? That's the world that I see. And I see the flowers and all life rejoicing to life. All life excited about being consciously aware of self, consciously aware of the source that is feeding all life. And it's just beautiful because everything has a harmonic to it. Everything has a tone to it. Everything has a frequency to it. Everything has a joy to it. And it's just beautiful to be in those energies where you're one with the flowers and you're one with the food and you're one with everything. And everything is so happy to be of service. So if you are still eating, you want to eat a banana or whatever, the banana is delighted that you're taking it and you're giving it gratitude. And it says, oh, enjoy me. Thank you. And I get this beautiful ping on my I take that banana in and I enjoy it and I'm thankful for it. And it's thankful that it was of service to me. Do you see when you have, again, this symbiotic relationship? Everything is life. Everything matters. Everything appreciates appreciation. Everything. And that's where we are. We're moving to a place where everything's in gratitude for being in gratitude and for being life and for being one with the source, where they know that there's no separation and that they serve. As that flower serves to bring joy and beauty, it's in gratitude for being able to bring you the joy and the beauty. And I'm in gratitude for being able to bear witness to it. And so there's this relationship that goes back and forth. And that's how it's going to be, dear ones. We are going to be one with all of our surroundings. We're going to be one with our nature and our natural habitat, and just everything about us is organic. And whether it's, we're able to manifest instantly, which we'll be able to do, where you're able to move through time and space, which you'll be able to do, when you're able to bilocate and trilocate, which you're able to do. I've done it, been there, done that, gateways, wormholes, you name it. I've seen it, been through them. It's wonderful to be able to do that and to truly operate from a higher state of awareness where you've broken free from that matrix. And that matrix no longer exists. And you're just free to be anywhere you desire to be, with love and harmony, as everything is there to support you, to enlift you, to inspire you to your greatness. And then that's when you really begin to expand into your greatness. It's just a beautiful thing. And that's what I see.
Thank you. And we're close. We're close. It's a mental new construct. It's that shift in perspective. It's already here. Some people are already seeing it and sensing it. So we know what to do. We have our instructions. We know the work. We know the path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Edwige, for this beautiful presentation today. Again, we have shifted. The world has changed, and that's so beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for receiving this and sharing your light as well. Namaste, Edwige.
Namaste, Lauren. Much love. And to everyone listening and seeing this, namaste, and so much love, peace, and serenity, and grace. Now and always.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.